I'm nervous about where this is going. Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of my reaction series, where I take a look at a first episode or first couple of episodes of an anime and give my impressions on the show and whether or not I feel like I'm going to continue watching said show. Today I took a look at the first episode of Oreimo, also called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. This is an anime that has a pretty decent popularity. I remember seeing a lot of people continuously following it along ever since its release, and I neglected to take a look at it because honestly I was too busy, I was watching other things, and I just I put it on my Crunchyroll queue and just left it there. However, now that I had some free time, I decided to take a look at it, and honestly, I'm kind of split on where I stand with it at the moment after its first episode. Half of me thinks, wow, this looks like it's gonna be really, really awesome. And the other half of me is thinking, this can get really awkward really fast. The story, from what I can tell of the first episode, seems like it's going to be following two characters, a brother and sister, the brother named Kyosuke and the girl named Kirino. The girl is the younger sister to the brother, and she is so popular. She's apparently becoming so popular with the entire town because she's just like successful with everything, apparently, and it's kind of driving the brother crazy because everyone is continuously talking about his sister, who apparently is not nice to him. He then stumbles upon something that he doesn't know who it belongs to, but he has his suspicions. It's an adult visual novel-esque game about little sisters. Rated 18+, mind you. It turns out this game belongs to his little sister, who not only has this game, but is really, really crazy about the entire franchise of this series and the entire genre of little sister romances. Once Kyosuke finds out, he promises he's not going to make fun of her and even says, "I'll help you if you need anything," because now he feels like that he knows something about her. Maybe she's not going to be as mean to him, probably. The first thing I noticed about this show was the music, honestly, because especially during the whole beginning moments of this episode, all the music was like kind of poppy, kind of filled with trumpets and everything. Very reminiscent to the soundtrack of Persona 4. And if any of you have been following this channel for like a month or more, you know how big of a Persona geek I am. So the moment I heard like Persona-esque trumpets and everything playing in the music, I got really like absorbed. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be awesome. The show's also very colorful, very bright colors and everything, which also reminded me of Persona 4 because it's very colorful. The animation for this show is very fluid. It's very reminiscent of Toradora's animation, which I've gone on record praising. It's very real, the movements are all natural. When they're sitting at a table, the little sister gets up and like walks around, puts her plate, and then walks back around. The walking looks real. It looks like a real walking. It's not like... There's signs you could see when watching an anime about like whether or not the animation it looks real or it looks just good, because there is a difference between good looking animation and real looking animation, and from what I've seen of this, it looks real, which is very cool. The voice actors for the two main characters were the only two I really focused on because they are the two main characters. They are the focus of this first episode. Likely more characters are going to be brought in, especially from what I've seen of the fan base. Likely more characters are going to be brought in, but as of the first episode, I'm only going to be focusing on the two main characters because they do take up pretty much the entire episode. The guy at first felt like his voice was a bit too low. He doesn't seem like he's that old. He doesn't seem like late high school. He might be. It's not specified really, but he seems like he might be early to middle high school. And his voice seems just a bit too low at first, but it did grow. I completely lost all complaints about it eventually because nothing changed with it. It's just it grew. It was just my first impression was it was too low. Fine with it now. The girls was actually very good. I thought there's nothing really I could say about it. It seemed very natural for the character, and yeah, I just really liked that. There wasn't much comedy, really, in this first episode. I don't know if the show's trying to be a comedy or comedy drama, comedy romance drama. It's probably trying to be all those, but for the comedy, there was only really one moment that stuck out to me, and that's when he finds the game, the 18+ game with the really big-eyed anime girl on it and all that, and he's like looking at it in his room on his bed, trying to think of who it might belong to. And then his mom opens the door and looks at him, and he immediately just like curls up in the blanket and ah! He like, screams really loudly. And they could have just played this off as they went with the joke of she walked in on him, but they could have just played it off as the typical like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll come back later, I guess. No, they played it off as this mom has the smirkiest smirk on her face while she's saying all this stuff like, did I commit at a bad time? Like, just super hilarious smirk that made me immediately think, this is gonna be an awesome character. So yeah, that got me laughing, like, because she didn't say it, she didn't like have any inflections with her voice that made it sound like she was like making fun of him. She said it in the same way you would normally hear like the oh, I'm sorry I walked in on you kind of thing, but just the face was perfect when she did that. The whole situation with the little sister introducing her craze, her fandom, her hobby with her brother was actually a very relatable thing. I think that's one thing that made this show probably very popular, because it is pretty popular. But I think it's primarily this whole introducing someone to a fan base that you are a part of because you want someone to talk to. I really felt related to this. Like, whenever I'm talking to somebody about Mysterious Girlfriend X or Heaven's Lost Property, two of my favorite anime of all time, it's awkward. It is awkward. Heaven's Lost Property is very sexual. Mysterious Girlfriend X is very sexual and really gross to a lot of people. It is really awkward to talk to people about this stuff. And this show, you could see in the little sister's eyes, you could see her face. She was into it. She's so excited that she finally has someone she can like verbally talk to about this and introduce to her hobby. And I think that might be the biggest draw point, especially from this first episode, because I know I'm going to continue watching this show because I'm like, wow, I feel a really good connection with this character, because I've been in that situation where I've been like, should I introduce somebody to this? They might freak out, they might make fun of me, they likely will make fun of me. Should I introduce them to this? I've been there, and I honestly felt really happy with that. The only thing I'm worried about is that because I'm going to continue watching this, there's already been sexualization with the little sister, and it's gonna get awkward, I'm almost positive. It's going to get very awkward at points. I'm sure it's going to. So yes, if I do end up finishing this anime, expect an initial impressions on it. But yeah, I highly recommend taking a look at the first episode, especially if you haven't, because it is a pretty popular one. It seems very well made and very relatable. The characters are real, and that's something that really draws me in personally. But yeah, that's all. Until next time, peace out.